sun is bright. Okay, let's see what we got here. Here we go. Oh, the sweet, sweet sound. Listen to that. Just listen to that. Cool start. Okay, early morning Saturday, just started up. She's busy warming up right now. I'm about to pull her out, give her a wash, and then I'll give you guys a breakdown on why I bought myself a 350Z and why I chose this specific 350Z. Tip 1, 100 times better to wash with a sponge instead of a cloth.
5 hours later.
100% better. Don't you just hate it when you buy a car and it's spotless, and the next time you wash it you find something that wasn't there before? Ugh! Just so you know, before I got this car, I never washed my other cars. Because it's important to have a long tool. I know a lot of y'all in the comments are gonna go on about why am I not washing my carpets. Stop being little babies. You're still gonna walk on the thing in the end place. It's raining, it's rainy season now here in South Africa. You're gonna walk in mud, walk it into your car, you went and washed the carpet for nothing. Relax. Hold on. Yeah.
24 hours later.
Ooh. New dawn, new day. I didn't only clean the car, I cleaned myself as well. Shaved, haircut, yada yada yada. On my way now to drop off some things, and I just wanted to talk about why I bought this car, and secondly, why I chose this specific one. Okay, so went out, bought the wife a car, iX35. Nice, actually quite a nice car. I really do like that car. It drives so comfortably, so smooth, especially on the long road. And then she said to me, hey, we've got a family car, why not go out and get something that you've always wanted? I was like, wee! But I didn't know what I wanted. So I started doing research first. And, you know, obviously, how can I say? You start looking back at everything that you've always liked. You know, Subaru WRX, STI, Mazda Miata, the MX-5. Then you got obviously the ones that everybody's always talking crap about, RX-7, RX-8. And I remembered that the one thing I always promised her was that I was always going to get myself, no matter what happened, I was going to own a 350Z at some point in time in my life. And why not do that now? I mean, I'm not an old guy, I'm still under 40. I didn't want to look like one of those old, how should I put it? You know, those old, those really old, bold, pedo guys, driving around in a nice car when I look ancient as hell. So I figured, hey, why not go for the 350? I spent ages trying to find the right 350. The first thing I did was I did some research. What always goes wrong on a Nissan 350Z? I mean, it's an old car. It's like 2000s, you know, 2003 up until 2007 there somewhere. So it's an old car. It was 2019 when I bought this. I've got it now for about 6 months. And I always, you know, because I've always wanted the car, I didn't want to buy a car that's going to be problematic. I just come from owning a Jeep Patriot as well as Chevrolet Cruze. Man, those things were not cheap to maintain, man. Oh, the Jeep itself needed a clutch replacement. Cost like 11,000 Rand for the part alone. And I thought to myself, okay, so firstly, is this specific car going to be like, is it going to cost me an arm and a leg to maintain? Is it going to cost me an arm and a leg to replace items, you know, just random bits and pieces? How much is it going to cost to service? Luckily for me, my neighbor's a mechanic. He's got his own you know, shop and whatnot. So I sat down and I chatted to him. He's got a Nissan El Grande or something like that. It's one of these imported vehicles into South Africa from like Botswana or something like that, and it uses the exact same engine as a Nissan 350Z, especially this one, which is the the VQ35 or VQ35D, yeah. And he told me, you know, it only cost him like a couple of $100. It's like under 2 grand to service the car. I was like, ding ding ding. Okay, so that was the first plus. And to me it was more also like the universe was trying to tell me to get one. I know how crazy that sounds, but everywhere I looked, all of a sudden on my news feeds, on my phone, on my PC, everything was always about Nissan. I mean, even like now recently, the Nissan, the CEO being chased and running around the world, hiding in places and stuff like that. But everything was always about Nissan. And then I remembered reading a post where they said that the Nissan 370Z was still being sold now, and that Nissan didn't know that they were still manufacturing and selling the cars at the time. And Nissan issued this apology because it's outdated tech inside of the cars and they didn't know, and yada yada yada. Now, there was also something that appealed to me because if you probably Google my name, you'll see that I'm a seasoned web developer. I specialize in PHP, Python, blah 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 blah, and I'm also into robotics. Who doesn't love a good robot now and then? Now, the thing is that I really like Raspberry Pi and stuff like that. So Arduinos, Raspberry Pis, all of those kinds of things. And I thought to myself, why not take that and use that to upgrade a car that I have? I've got this car, I've got a classic Mini as well. So I always thought to myself, I'm gonna grab a Raspberry Pi and I'm gonna upgrade that car. So I'm gonna throw the Raspberry Pi in and use that Raspberry Pi along with its Wi-Fi, Bluetooth capabilities, 7-inch touchscreen, to upgrade the entertainment as well as upgrade the car, bring it into the 2000s instead of the 80s and 70s where it's from actually. But then I thought, okay, so got myself a 350. The 350 itself is from 2004, 3.5 liter, but it's got a radio, a head unit that's from 2004 as well. It still has a tape deck, which I will be honest, I did actually try and go out and find cassettes for it, I couldn't find any. So if I want to listen to music in my car, it's got to be the radio or a CD. By the way, the CD does, there's no MP3. It does not do MP3s. So I definitely need to upgrade this, but I don't just want to upgrade it for entertainment purposes. I'd like to actually pull through the OBD2 readings onto the Raspberry Pi screen so that I can see, details about the car, RPM, water temperature, intake air temperature, speed, distance traveled, 0 to 60 times, all kinds of things like that. And I think that having it on a screen is much better than actually having it on the 350s. One of these dials here on the 350, it's got like this button that you push and you can cycle through all of that information, but it's a tiny little LED, it's like LCD screen actually, like in this weird yellowish color, like it's from the 70s. Anyway, so yeah, that's one of the things I want to do on the car. So I think starting with the stuff that I want to do on the car, one of the big things is that the entertainment system, as well as the OBD2 reader that picks up all of the information from the ECU and then displays it onto the 7-inch touchscreen of the Raspberry Pi. I also want to put in a, I want it to sound more sporty. It sounds great at the moment. I mean, just, let me just, just listen to that. Oh, this baby's got some serious power. I love it. Anyway, I don't think it sounds beefy enough. So one of the other things I want to do is a muffler delete. A muffler delete is when they remove the furthest to the back box, the exhaust box at the back. Muffler delete. From what I can tell online, the muffler delete actually makes it sound much more darker. It's beefier. It's more, lion's roar kind of thing. It sounds great now, but I think that it will sound much better with a muffler delete. I actually have a list of things that I wanted to chat to you guys about, but you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna go with all natural here. Let's see. Okay, so it's the muffler delete. Then there's a cold air intake. The forced air induction thing. At the moment, it's using the standard Nissan 350Z, the air box, the filter in and stuff. I want to get one of those K&N filters with the induction pipe, the aluminium induction pipe. I think those things sound absolutely amazing. I owned a Opel Corsa 1.6 once. We popped one of those things on, and oh, the growl that you get from the engine bay side of things, it's just absolutely amazing. What's up with these birds just landing in the street? Anyway, the growl that comes from the engine bay with one of those, man, it's so much more amazing. Plus you get a little bit more HP out of the engine. I think most people are going on about 5 horsepower, all kinds of stuff like that. Who doesn't mind extra horsepower? So yeah, so it's a cold air intake, it's the entertainment system. On the exterior, I'd like a front lip, you know, on the bumper at the bottom in the front. Those look absolutely sick, so nice. Problem is, like, where I live in Johannesburg, there's so many speed bumps. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Speed bumps everywhere, and I know that this car sits low already, and I keep scraping the bottom of my car on them. So the issue would be that I'm going to end up scraping that thing off. You know, there are some roads in my community where I cannot drive because of the speed bumps. It's like, because also people make like their own homemade speed bumps in the roads out of like cement. People. Anyway, yeah, so besides that front lip, I'd also like to, I think that the back of a Nissan 350C looks nice. I mean, it sits wide, tires sticking out, it looks dope, man. But I think it would look better if it had a diffuser, just, you know, over the rear exhaust ports. A diffuser would just add so much more to it. I don't know why Nissan didn't do a little bit more when it came to the little bits that they could have put onto the car. Little bits being like the diffuser, and then the other little bit, the most annoying one for me is, I mean, they're sitting in the factory, and they take these bicycle, you know, a bicycle, 2-wheel man-powered machine. They take reflectors off of that thing and they put it on the front bumper of the car. It has no purpose. It doesn't flash when the indicators go on. It doesn't, you know, it's not park light. It's nothing. It's just a freaking bicycle reflector on both sides of the car. Orange out of all things. It looks horrid. Anyway, so I like one of the next steps that I'm about to do is in up and coming video is a DIY LED install, a replacement unit for those that I'd like to actually hook up to the park lights. I think it would look absolutely sick, like really nice. Yeah, I think so. That'll probably be one of the next videos coming up, that or the Raspberry Pi head unit. Although the Raspberry Pi head unit, there's gonna be a lot of small steps to that. So the first will be the install, and then the getting the entertainment working with the inbuilt Bose amplifiers and speakers. After that, I want to add on you know, like GPS tracking for Google Maps or Navid. Navid has downloadable maps, which is really awesome. Okay, as you can tell, my camera's shaking a lot. It's really bumpy where I'm driving at the moment. Oh. Okay, yeah, so the GPS unit, besides the GPS unit, I'd like to add on obviously the OBD2 reading capability, which will be really nice. You know, it's when you just, I want to be able to switch to that specific screen and just see all of the details that I'm getting from that. It would be so much fun. Other than that, you know, the Raspberry Pi does have onboard little slot thingy where you can put a Raspberry Pi camera. I'd like to hook that up to a reverse camera. It's got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, which would be great. I'd be able to add on a SIM card module and then put a SIM card in there with data in it, and then use that as a way to tether my phone so that I can, you know, I don't have to use my phone's data as well. I can use the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth to stream media from my phone as well, or any other device that can stream. So it would be great for entertainment in the car. I'll be honest with you, there's not a lot of things that there's not a lot that you actually want to listen to on the radio when your engine and your exhaust makes noises of epic glory. So the radio's off most of the time, and that's why I'd love to have a screen there that just shows me engine details and car details. It'd be epic. Other than that, I think that's it for the list of stuff that I'd like to do to the car. I will tell you why I bought the car also, and why you should actually go out and get one, especially if you're in your 20s and 30s. Guys, not everybody's got kids at that age, or family, that they need to ride around with and kart with. Some people aren't even married by then. Some people even stay at home still. You do not need to go out and get a car that has more than 2 seats. The Nissan 350Z, there's a pleasure that it brings you, man. You can have the hardest day, the absolute worst day ever. You can get into your car, and I guarantee you will feel 100% better. That is what the 350Z does. It's the driving pleasure that comes from it. Most people go on about perfect driving pleasure in specific cars, Subarus, Mazdas, the MX-5s, and there's obviously the 350Z. Man, it is absolute driving pleasure. Something that you just can't get from any other vehicle, like that I haven't gotten from any other vehicle. The only other car that I've ever driven that I always say was the best drive for me was my Mini. It's a 1275 Mini. But man, this just reminds me of that. It feels so good to drive, guys. You really don't need to go out and get some 1.4 turbo Polo GTI, whatever. Most people in South Africa, especially in the age range, they just love the Polos and the Golfs, bro. Yeah, bro, we all need Golfs and Polos. And no, man, no, you don't. No, guys, you don't get it. That's like, no. You guys can go out and get something like this that costs under 120,000. It's fun to drive. It's absolutely eye-catching. There's not a single place I haven't driven where people stop and stare, And I've had people walk up to me, take my hand, shake my hand. Oh man, thank you so much for driving this. And what is it? And I obviously start up like this massive conversation about the car. But yeah, if you can, like I'm saying, if you can, go out and instead of going after a sedan or a hot hatch, try something new, guys. Try something new. I went and I tried something new, and I absolutely love the choice that I made. And I guarantee you, buying a 350, or if you've got the cash and you want to go ahead and go higher than that, buying the 370Z, it is not a waste of money. It is so good, especially foot flat. It is so good, and it sounds so good. But yeah, okay, well, that's the video for me. For some of the things that I mentioned, you'll find links in the description, in pre-editing or editing or whatever. I'll add in some pictures up here somewhere or over my ugly face about the things that I've mentioned, the things that I want to change on the car. And yeah, I guess the next video that would be coming in at the moment, or that I've got planned coming up next, is either the DIY LED bicycle reflector replacements, or it could actually be the Raspberry Pi head unit. I've got most of the parts and stuff. I'm still busy experimenting at the moment with the Python library. I think it's called PYOBD or something like that, that actually reads from the ODB scanner that you plug into the port. But yeah, one of those is coming up next. Subscribe, get notifications, Thank you so much for watching.